Have you ever wondered what you would do if you were alone when your heart started to fail? Imagine this. You're sitting in your living room, maybe reading a newspaper or watching TV, and suddenly you feel an intense pain in your chest, your arm feels heavy, your breath shortens, and no one is around to help. What you do in the next 10 seconds could determine whether you live or die. I am Dr. William Tharnell, a specialist in elderly health, with over 25 years of experience in geriatrics and integrative medicine. And today, I need to talk to you about something that could literally save your life or the life of someone you love. Every year, about 17.9 million people die from cardiovascular diseases worldwide, and many of these deaths could be avoided with quick and simple actions. If you're over 60, this video is even more urgent for you. Before we continue, I ask you, like this video, share it with friends and family, and subscribe to the channel. This helps spread this life or death message to thousands of people. And tell me in the comments, have you or someone close to you ever had a heart attack? Your story could help others. You're sitting in your living room chair, it's past 8 in the evening. The day was calm, you even felt well enough to sweep the backyard. Suddenly, without warning, a strange sensation starts in your chest. It's not that muscle pain that comes from lifting something heavy. It's something deeper, a tightness that rises to your neck, to your left arm. Your hands start sweating cold, your vision blurs for a few seconds. You feel something serious is happening, but you don't know exactly what. At this critical moment, most people go into shock or freeze in fear. And that is a fatal mistake. This is where I, as a doctor, need to warn you. The first 10 seconds of a heart attack could be the difference between life and death. Now, picture a different scenario. You're not at home, you're outside, walking back from the store. Or maybe you're in the backyard, alone, watering the plants. There's no one around to notice your pained expression, no phone within easy reach. You feel your chest tighten again, your arm tingles, your breath shortens. Many people's first reaction is to sit down and wait for it to pass, believing it's just fatigue. That's one of the biggest mistakes. Being alone during a heart attack is not uncommon. Studies show that a significant portion of fatal heart attacks occur when the person is isolated. That's why knowing the symptoms isn't enough. You need to have an immediate plan in mind, something you can put into practice even with no one around. This is what will keep your heart beating until professional help arrives. The heart rarely screams out of nowhere. Before a heart attack, it usually sends small signals, almost always ignored or mistaken for everyday fatigue. And that's exactly where many lives are lost, because these silent signals go unnoticed until the critical moment. Maybe, in recent days, you felt a slight discomfort in your chest when climbing stairs, but you thought it was just lack of exercise. Or that unusual fatigue that appeared for no reason, but you chose to believe it was because you slept poorly the night before. These are common examples I see in my practice. Patients like Mrs. Margaret, 72, report that before the heart attack, they felt a heaviness in their back that came and went without explanation. Others describe sudden dizziness or nausea that appears out of nowhere. These signals aren't the same for everyone. In men, the warning is usually more classic: pain or pressure in the chest that radiates to the arm or jaw. In women and the elderly, it may manifest as stomach pain, extreme fatigue, or sudden shortness of breath without exertion. Often, they arrive at the emergency room too late because they thought it was just a passing discomfort. Another silent signal worth noting is unexplained cold sweats. Not the kind caused by heat or exercise. It's a sweat accompanied by paleness and weakness. In the elderly, especially, this combination is a red flag for the heart. These signals may appear hours, days, or even weeks before the actual heart attack. Recognizing them is like having a silent alarm inside your body. And if you notice any of these symptoms, don't wait. Talk to your doctor immediately. Modern medicine saves millions of lives every year, but it can only act if you seek help in time. Think about it. How many times have you or someone in your family felt something strange and chose not to pay attention? How many stories have we heard of people who seemed fine until the day of the heart attack? Pay attention to what your body is telling you. These silent signals are the first step to not being caught off guard. Silent signals are important, but when the heart attack actually begins, the symptoms become more intense and dangerous. Recognizing them in time is vital to act immediately. The most classic symptom is chest pain, usually described as a heaviness or a very strong tightness, as if a great weight were pressing on the center of the chest. This pain may last more than a few minutes or come and go, but it doesn't disappear with simple rest. Many patients tell me, "Doctor, it felt like an elephant was sitting on my chest." This description is extremely common in cardiac emergencies. Another sudden symptom is radiating pain, which starts in the chest and spreads to the left arm, shoulder, jaw, or even the back. In the elderly, this pain may be atypical. Sometimes it's just jaw discomfort, neck pain, or a tightness in the pit of the stomach. This confuses many people who think it's a digestive issue and waste precious time. Sudden shortness of breath is also a serious sign. You may be sitting quietly and suddenly feel as if you've run a marathon. Your breath becomes short, labored, and an inexplicable anxiety takes over. This symptom often comes with dizziness or a feeling of imminent fainting, something that shouldn't be ignored. There are also less known but equally dangerous symptoms, like nausea, vomiting, and intense cold sweats. In the elderly, these signs are particularly tricky because they may be attributed to common malaise, passing discomfort, or even low blood pressure. However, in most heart attack cases, these manifestations appear alongside chest discomfort, and the combination should sound an alarm in your mind. Imagine what would happen if you felt this now while alone. Many people wait for the symptom to pass, lie down, or drink water thinking it will improve. This lost time can cost lives. During a heart attack, the heart is suffering from lack of oxygen. Every minute without action increases damage to the heart muscle, and every second without emergency measures is an added risk. Never underestimate these signs. They are your body's way of screaming for help. And if you learn to recognize them, you'll have a real chance to react and save your own life until help arrives. When a heart attack begins, something extremely serious is happening inside your body. The heart, this fist-sized organ that works tirelessly every day, suddenly faces a blockage. A coronary artery, which should carry oxygen and nutrients to the heart muscle, becomes obstructed by a fatty plaque or a blood clot. Imagine a main road in a big city suddenly blocked. All traffic stops, and the neighborhoods dependent on that road begin to suffer from lack of supplies. That's exactly what happens in your heart. The area that should receive blood and oxygen starts dying, cell by cell, minute by minute. This process isn't silent inside the body. When blood flow is interrupted, the heart sends distress signals, translated into pain, shortness of breath, intense sweating, and other symptoms. If nothing is done, the damage spreads. Within minutes, entire areas of the heart muscle may become unable to pump blood, leading to total organ failure. For the elderly, the risk is even higher. Over the years, arteries tend to accumulate more fatty plaques, and the heart's ability to withstand periods without oxygen diminishes. That's why a heart attack at 65, 70, or 80 can progress much faster than in a younger person. What many don't know is that in the first seconds after a heart attack begins, there's still a window of opportunity. If the heart can be stimulated to maintain its rhythm, if the person can keep circulation going even in an improvised way, it's possible to buy time until help arrives. This window is short, but it's your chance. And that's exactly what we'll talk about next. What to do immediately, even alone, to keep your heart beating and save your life. Few people know this, but there's a simple maneuver anyone can do alone to keep their heart working while trying to get help. This technique has been taught in emergency training and has saved countless lives worldwide. It doesn't replace medical care, but it can give you the precious minutes needed until help arrives. When a heart attack happens, the heart may enter an abnormal rhythm called arrhythmia. It may start beating too fast, erratically, or even stop pumping effectively. The result? The brain stops receiving oxygen, and within seconds, you may lose consciousness. That's exactly where this survival technique comes in. The principle is simple: keep the heart mechanically stimulated while you try to get help. You do this through a combination of forced coughing and deep breaths. It sounds strange, but it's a way to create movement that aids circulation and stimulates the heart to resume a more efficient rhythm. Picture yourself sitting alone, feeling your chest tighten. You know there's no time to waste. That's when you must act. Take a deep breath, cough forcefully and repeatedly, as if trying to clear your lungs. This cough creates internal pressure in the chest that can keep blood circulating for a few extra seconds and, in some cases, even interrupt the abnormal rhythm setting in. Many elderly people who've been through this report feeling slight immediate relief, enough time to dial emergency services or reach a neighbor. It's not a miracle or a cure, but it's a powerful tool while waiting for help. Now, let's talk about how to correctly apply this technique, because knowing it exists isn't enough. You must be prepared to execute it when your life depends on it. Knowing a survival technique is useful, but when your heart is failing, every movement must be done correctly to buy time. Here's a simple, practical breakdown of how to act alone during a heart attack. Step 1. Stop everything and sit down. If you're standing, sit immediately, preferably in a firm chair or even on the floor against a wall to avoid falling if you lose consciousness. Don't try to keep walking or climbing stairs. Your priority is stabilizing your body to focus on what needs to be done. Step 2. Take the deepest breath you can. Draw air in slowly and deeply, filling your lungs completely. This deep breath helps oxygenate your blood and keeps your mind more alert in the first critical seconds. Step 3. Cough forcefully repeatedly. Right after the deep breath, cough hard as if trying to expel something from your lungs. This isn't a light cough. It must be vigorous, firm, and repeated every 2 seconds while continuing deep breaths between coughs. The cough forces your diaphragm and chest to contract, creating internal pressure that helps maintain circulation even with an unstable heart. Step 4. Keep the rhythm. Deep breath, forceful cough. Continue the cycle of deep breathing and forceful coughing until the pain lessens or until help arrives. Don't stop while conscious. This sequence can stabilize blood flow and even help the heart regain a more effective rhythm. Step 5. Call for help as soon as possible. If a phone is within reach, dial emergency services immediately and keep breathing and coughing while speaking to the operator. Say clearly, "I'm alone, I'm having chest pain, I'm coughing as an emergency technique, I need help now." Don't wait to see if it improves on its own. These simple steps could save your life. They require no special equipment, just knowledge and presence of mind. That's why I tell my patients, mentally rehearse. Imagine the situation, repeat the steps quietly from time to time, so if the moment comes, your body knows exactly what to do without hesitation. Don't ignore the importance of this. Actions like these keep you alive until professionals arrive to care for your heart. To help you understand the power of this technique, let me tell you about someone who went through this exact scenario. His name is John Miller, a 68-year-old retiree living alone in a small U.S. town. John was always active, enjoyed gardening and walking daily after coffee. But like many men his age, he had high blood pressure and cholesterol and had been warned by his doctor about heart risks. One Saturday afternoon, John was alone in his garage organizing tools. The radio played softly. The day was calm. Suddenly, without warning, he felt discomfort in his chest. At first, he thought it was just fatigue. But within seconds, the pain intensified, radiating to his left arm and jaw. Cold sweat dripped down his face, and his legs weakened. John looked around and realized no one was nearby. His phone was in his pocket, but he knew if he just sat and waited, he might not have time to call for help. Then he remembered a talk he'd attended months earlier at the community center, where a doctor explained the very technique we've described. He sat on the floor, leaned against the wall, and immediately began taking deep breaths and coughing forcefully, repeatedly. With each cough, his chest hurt, but he didn't stop. Between breaths, he managed to grab his phone and dial emergency services. The operator heard John's labored breathing and sent an ambulance immediately. Meanwhile, he kept coughing and breathing even as his vision began to darken. When paramedics arrived, they found John still conscious, though very weak. The doctor who treated him later said, "If you hadn't done that, you likely would have lost consciousness, and we wouldn't have gotten here in time." John survived, underwent a procedure to clear the blocked artery, and now shares his story with everyone in his community. What saved John wasn't just luck, it was knowledge and quick action. This real story is a reminder that even alone, you have a real chance to survive if you know exactly what to do in the first seconds of a heart attack. Even with all the information available today, millions still lose their lives during a heart attack simply because they don't recognize the symptoms or make fatal mistakes in the first minutes. This happens especially with elderly people living alone who underestimate what they're feeling. One of the most common mistakes is ignoring the pain. Many believe resting or lying down will make it better. This attitude lets the heart continue suffering without intervention. By the time they seek help, it's often too late because the affected heart muscle is severely damaged. Another mistake is trying to drive to the hospital alone. This happens more often than you'd think. The person feels symptoms, thinks they can make it to the ER, and gets behind the wheel. But a heart attack can cause loss of consciousness in seconds. Many fatal accidents happen precisely because the victim tried driving through pain and shortness of breath. Another error is not having an emergency plan. How many seniors know the emergency number by heart? How many keep a phone nearby or have a neighbor they can quickly alert? In my practice, I see people who can't even dial emergency services because the phone is out of reach or they don't carry it with them. Another mistake is not sharing health information with family and friends. Often, no one nearby knows the person has a history of heart problems, making it harder for medical responders to act quickly. These mistakes aren't made out of malice or neglect. They stem from lack of guidance. That's why I always say, knowledge saves lives. Don't wait for a critical moment to wonder what to do. Know now, prepare now, because when the heart gives a warning, every second counts. Knowing what to do can save your life, but knowing what not to do is equally important. In moments of panic, many people take dangerous actions that can worsen the situation or hasten the end. Don't lie completely flat. Many think they should lie down immediately with chest pain. This can be dangerous because lying flat may make breathing harder and, in some cases, worsen suffocation. Stay seated with back support or semi-reclined to ease airflow and reduce the heart strain. Don't wait for it to pass. Some say, "I'll wait a few minutes to see if it gets better." This is one of the deadliest mistakes. A heart attack isn't like a cramp or headache that fades with time. While you wait, the heart muscle keeps sustaining damage. If you have chest pain with symptoms like shortness of breath, cold sweat, or radiating pain, act immediately. Don't take random medication. Another common mistake is rummaging for old painkillers, antacids, or other pills, thinking they might help. Taking unapproved medication can delay proper care or dangerously interact with what's happening in your heart. Don't exert yourself. Some people, trying to feel better, start walking around, searching for something, or even attempting to drive. Any exertion further strains an already suffering heart. The right move is to sit, breathe deeply, cough as instructed, and call for help. Don't hide what's happening. Out of embarrassment or fear of bothering others, many don't call family or neighbors. But this isn't the time to worry about that. If someone is nearby, ask for help without hesitation. If alone, call emergency services immediately. Your life is worth more than any awkwardness. Remember, during a heart attack, your heart is under immediate threat. Every right action increases your survival chances. Every wrong move reduces your time to act. Knowing and avoiding these mistakes could be the difference between going home and becoming another statistic in global heart disease. A heart attack can strike unexpectedly, but you can boost your survival odds long before it happens. Preparing your environment and caring for your body are crucial for seniors who spend much time alone. Keep a phone within reach at all times. Never leave your phone in another room when alone. Make it a habit to carry it in your pocket or keep it on a nearby table. If possible, set emergency numbers to speed dial, preferably local medical services and a close neighbor or relative. In many countries, holding down one button calls for help. Practice this. Have a safe, organized space. Avoid scattered furniture, loose rugs, or clutter that could cause falls. During a heart attack, dizziness may impair your balance. A safe environment prevents additional accidents like fractures or injuries that would worsen the situation. Inform family and neighbors about your health. Talk to loved ones and explain if you have heart risks or a family history of cardiac issues. Tell them how to act if you call for help. Keep medications and medical info visible, like a labeled box on the kitchen table. Get regular checkups. Don't wait for problems to arise before caring for your heart. See your doctor regularly, monitor blood pressure, cholesterol, and diabetes. Keep tests up to date and follow treatment plans. Many lives are saved because issues were caught before crisis struck. Train your mind and body. If possible, do light regular exercise like walking or therapist-approved routines. An active body responds better in emergencies. Also, mentally rehearse what you've learned here. Deep breaths, forceful coughs, call for help. Practicing these steps creates a reflex that could save you. Keep an updated medication list. Always have a list of all medications, dosages, and schedules on hand. In an emergency, this is vital for medical responders to act fast. These simple steps turn your home into a prepared environment for crises. When it comes to your heart, there's no such thing as too much prevention. The more you prepare, the better your chances of living healthily and safely with those you love. Surviving a heart attack is just the beginning. For many seniors, it's a definitive wake-up call. Time to change habits to drastically reduce the odds of another episode. The good news? Small, consistent changes make a huge difference for heart health. Eat like your life depends on it, because it does. The foundation of cardiovascular health is on your plate. Cut back on ultra-processed, fatty, and sodium-heavy foods. Replace fried foods with baked, butter with olive oil, and load up on fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and omega-3 rich fish. Studies show a Mediterranean-style diet can slash repeat cardiac events by 30%. Monitor blood pressure daily. Seniors often don't notice high blood pressure because it has no immediate symptoms. Keep a reliable monitor at home and check it at the same times daily. Log the numbers and bring them to doctor visits. Controlled blood pressure means less heart stress. Don't skip physical activity. Many think they must stop all exercise after a heart attack. In truth, post-medical clearance, light walks, stretches, and low-intensity workouts are highly recommended. They improve circulation, weight control, and heart efficiency. Sleep well and manage stress. Sleep deprivation and chronic stress are silent heart enemies. Stick to regular sleep hours and create a calming nighttime routine. Breathing techniques, light meditation, or soothing music before bed can ease daily pressures. Quit smoking and limit alcohol. If you smoke, know this habit multiplies your risk of another heart attack. It's never too late to quit, even at 60 or 70. With alcohol, consume only if your doctor allows, and in small amounts. Keep regular appointments and follow medical advice. Take medications exactly as prescribed and never stop treatment on your own. Many seniors make this mistake when feeling better, but it can trigger new crises. These habits don't just lower the risk of another heart attack. They boost energy, mood, and quality of life. They're the difference between merely surviving and truly living with health and security. Caring for your health is essential, but you don't have to do it alone. Teaching family and neighbors to recognize heart attack signs and act can make all the difference if you or someone nearby needs urgent help. Talk about it openly. Don't shy away from discussing heart risks. Sit down with kids, grandkids, or trusted neighbors and say, "I have a heart history. If I ever say I have chest pain, shortness of breath, or start sweating cold, I need you to call help immediately." This simple chat could save your life. Show them the survival technique. Explain the steps you learned. Deep breaths and forceful, repeated coughing while waiting for help. Demonstrate it. Have them practice to remember. An informed neighbor might be the first to stabilize you. Agree on emergency signals. If you live near neighbors, set a simple signal, like 3 loud knocks on the wall or a specific doorbell ring. These small strategies ensure help comes even if you can't speak. Post emergency numbers visibly. Place a large, clear list by the phone with key numbers. Local emergency services, your doctor, a close relative. In crises, people panic and forget who to call. Having this visible speeds up action. Teach them about atypical symptoms. Explain that in seniors, heart attacks don't always mean intense chest pain. It could be stomach discomfort, sudden weakness, or dizziness. The more people around you can spot these, the better your chances. Involve the community. Many U.S. towns offer first aid training for seniors and families. Encourage others to join. The more people know what to do, the more lives are saved. Remember, living alone doesn't mean being helpless. When you teach others to recognize and react to a heart attack, you create an invisible safety net around you, ready to act when you need it most. You've just learned something that could mean the difference between life and death, especially if you're over 60 and spend much time alone. We've covered the silent signals your heart sends, the sudden symptoms you mustn't ignore, what truly happens inside your body during a heart attack, and, most importantly, the simple technique that can keep you alive until help arrives. You heard John's story, a man who survived because he knew what to do. We've also discussed common mistakes, what never to do, and how to prepare your home, body, and support network for a crisis. Above all, we've stressed that knowledge is your greatest weapon. Don't wait until a heart attack strikes to act. Start now. Keep your phone within reach. Post emergency numbers where they're visible. Teach family and neighbors the signs and coughing technique. Eat well, control blood pressure and cholesterol, stay lightly active. See your doctor regularly and follow their advice diligently. I'm Dr. William Tharnell, and in over 25 years of caring for seniors, I've learned one unforgettable lesson: there's no such thing as too much prevention when it comes to your heart. Every step you take today ensures you'll keep living stories, hugging your kids and grandkids, and cherishing each moment. Now I ask you, like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe for more life-saving content. If you or someone you know has survived a heart attack, share your story in the comments. Your experience could inspire and help others. Take care of your heart. You deserve to live fully, not just survive.